morning and welcome to Talk Taboo. Today we're going to be talking about sex and relationships and dating and all the fun stuff that you would possibly want to know. So make sure to message us here and let me know what you want to talk about. Again, it's Carli Blau, Sex Doc. Speak to you soon. So with Valentine's Day around the corner, a real big question that I have is everyone gets so fixated on, wanting to have somebody else to love, but how do you think you could love yourself? So one thing that I talk about often is what does that mean? What does it mean to love yourself? How do you love yourself? Step one to loving yourself is that you need to give yourself all of the attention and care that you want to give to everybody else. So when you get up in the morning, give yourself love, pamper yourself, make yourself feel like you are your best version of yourself that day. Because how you treat yourself is an example of how you want to be treated. So if you treat yourself with love and kindness and you give yourself positive affirmations, right, it's putting that positivity into the world and lending itself to somebody else giving that same thing to you. Step two is accepting our weaknesses and accepting our faults and accepting the things that we don't do great on a daily basis. And then giving ourselves the encouragement to accept that and then maybe to strive to do better. Step three to loving yourself is accept what you can't change in your life, whether it be about your physical appearance or where you are in your life and what you've achieved. Accept what you can't change and then dedicate yourself to what you can. So as a culture, we have a tendency to focus on the negative, right? And what we can't do, what we can't achieve, what our obstacles are in life. But what about dedicating yourself to being able to achieve the things that you really can do? So a question I just received is it possible to enjoy having sex with a man even if I don't think that their penis is attractive? So a statement that I once heard was bumping uglies is a way to describe having sex because sometimes people feel like penises and vulvas are not very attractive body parts and they're not really appealing looking. And it really depends, but to answer your question, it is possible to enjoy having sex without finding a specific body part attractive, right? Sometimes we just don't feel attractive about other body parts and we can still find ways to enjoy them. There's a lot more to attraction than the physical piece of it, right? The physical part of our bodies and our faces and the way that we present ourselves is a part of what we're attracted to, but we can also be attracted and turned on by somebody's personality and their behavior. Never thought I'd say this, but make sure you slide into my DM today because I'd like to answer all of your questions. So one thing we should be talking about is how do you know when your relationship is healthy and what can you look out for to tell you that your relationship isn't? So arguments and disagreements can happen in relationships, and quite frankly, they're going to happen because you're two different individuals who are meshing into one partnership. Gaslighting can be really dangerous because it's used as a manipulative tactic for the other partner to gain control in the relationship. The other thing that's important to know about gaslighting is that partners tend to do it slowly over time to invalidate your experiences in a relationship and to make you feel like you're crazy. And while arguments are normal to happen, it's never normal for arguments to become physical. When you put your hands on someone else or someone else puts their hands on you, it's a sign that something unhealthy is going on in the relationship. Another sign to be wary of is when your consent isn't taken into consideration, whether you're not asked for your consent or you're not giving consent and the other person is not respecting that. That is a clear violation of your boundaries and your safety. So it leads me to my next question, which is, what do you do when you feel like you're in an unhealthy relationship? You always want to ask for help because sometimes really difficult situations can be even harder to get out of. And it's really important that you find somebody you can confide in and that you can trust. And if you don't feel you have someone, you can look for a therapist like myself to work through it.
Some say in life you're gonna get what you give, but some things only God can forgive. I hope it's so.
So sure, you can come see someone like me, but you might be wondering, maybe I haven't had sex yet, or maybe I don't have any problems with my sex life. Why should I see a sex therapist? What is sex therapy anyway? So technically, I'm a clinical psychotherapist, which means that I've been clinically trained to do psychotherapy and to use talk therapy to discuss problems and situations, anxiety, depression, and other things that go on in our lives. So I am a therapist, and you can see me to talk about a whole host of issues. But what makes me a sex therapist and what makes that different from regular therapy is that it allows you to feel like you can talk to somebody who's been clinically trained to talk about sex safely. As you all know, sex can be really taboo. And because it's so taboo, oftentimes many people, including doctors and many professionals, feel uncomfortable talking about it. And so someone who's considered a sex therapist will go through a lot of clinical training to not only deal with all the discomfort around talking about sex, but to also be able to provide clients with an ability to talk about it in a judgment-free zone where you can discuss the ins and outs and the most intimate parts of your lives. And therapy doesn't mean that you're broken or there's something wrong with you. You're human. There are going to be aspects of yourself that we may never understand. And that's what therapy provides you. It provides you an opportunity to get a better understanding of yourself.